So we have discussed all the segments of the large intestine and the parts uh, containing number one, the cecum, the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, and the rectum. So let us discuss some basic parts, some basic things about the large intestine. Number one, let us start with the cecum, right? So we should start with the cecum because cecum is the very first part of the large intestine. Here it starts. And the basic thing about cecum, which we have learned in the previous class, that the cecum has a length of around 6 centimeter and the diameter is around 7 centimeter. So the is length is around 6 centimeter and the diameter is around 7 centimeter. So we have said that this is wider than its length, right? Let us talk about its shape. The shape of the cecum is actually varies. Its shape actually varies, and that's why we call cecum as asymmetrical. It's asymmetrical or cul-de-sac. So what mean of cul-de-sac? Cul-de-sac means like a street which ends at a point. So it's already we have called this as a blind pouch. So its shape varies. The shape of the blind pouch is actually varies. It may be it may be conical, it may be conical, or it may be quadrate, it may be quadrate, it may be asymmetrical, or it may be exaggerated. What mean of exaggerated? Means its extension towards the right side, right? So shape of the cecum is actually varies, right? Number two, which we have to know, that communication of the cecum. So what are the basic communication? As we know, superiorly there is ascending colon. Superior to the cecum is the ascending colon. So write it like this: superiorly there is ascending colon, right? And inferiorly inferiorly medially there is ileum. Medial to the cecum is ileum. Medial to the cecum is ileum. And one more connection which the cecum has: posterior medially and posterior medially. And what lies posterior medially to the cecum? That is the vermiform appendix. That is the appendix. That is the appendix. So basically, cecum communicates with three main structure. One is the ascending colon. It communicates superiorly. One is the ileum, which lies medially to the cecum, and third one is the appendix, and which lies posterior medially to the appendix. Right. So these are the basic communications. Next, more important thing is the orifices of the cecum. So the next heading is orifices. So what are the orifices? The basic two main orifices, which are one where it connects with the small intestine, and the second one where it connects with the appendix. So the superior one is the Superior one is the ileocecal orifice. Superior one is the ileocecal orifice, and just below, around 2 centimeter below to this ileocecal orifice, there is one more orifice, and that is the orifice of the appendicular orifice. That is the orifice of the appendix, and that is known as appendicular orifice, right? So there are two basic orifices. One is the ileocecal orifice, and second one is the appendicular orifice. Let us talk about the ileocecal orifice. So ileocecal orifice is actually posterior-medial to the cecum. This one is the on the posterior medial aspect of the cecum, right? So first thing which we should know about the ileocecal orifice is that it lies posterior medial. It lies posterior medial. So one thing is that it lies posterior medial. Second more important thing, what would be the diameter of this orifice? What would be the, this one is the ileocecal orifice. So what would be the diameter of the orifice? If you remember the diameter of the small intestine, you can tell the diameter of this orifice. And that was 2.5 centimeter. That's why the diameter of this orifice is also will remain the same. And that is 2.5 centimeter. 2.5 centimeter. So the diameter of this orifice is around 2.5 centimeter, and this orifice is actually guarded by a sphincter muscle valve. So if you cut the section, this actually extension of the ileum is way through inside the cecum. This would be like this. If this is cecum, you if this is cecum and this one is ileum, so the ileum will extend just like this. This ileum will extend into the cecum, and the diameter of this orifice will remain the same as of the ileum, right? So this lies on the posterior medial aspect. One thing, the diameter would be 2.5 centimeters. The second thing, and the third one, and the most important thing, that this sphincter is actually guarded by a sphincter muscle valve. This is guarded by a valve of sphincter muscle, and this sphincter muscle or this valve contains two lips. One is the upper lip and one is the lower lip. So you can understand by this that this contains one upper lip and one lower lip. So this would be the valve. As you can see, the upper lip is horizontal. While the lower lip is concave. So the upper limb, let's write here, the upper lip, this one is the upper lip, and this is horizontal. And the lower lip is concave. And one more important thing, at the lateral side, these both lip connects together. The both of the ends of these lips connect together at the lateral side, and here they makes a more specific structure, and this is known as the frenula. This is the frenula. This is the frenula. So the basic things which we should know about the ileocecal orifice, that this ileum goes inside the cecum, and here there is a special valve which is made up of sphincter muscle. This this is actually guarded by a sphincter muscle wall, and this sphincter contains two lips. One is the upper lip, which lies horizontal, and lower one is the concave lip or lower lip, which is concave in the shape, and the both of the lips meets together, and they make the frenula. They make the frenula. That is all about this ileocecal orifice. Let's come to the appendicular orifice. So, appendicular orifice means the opening of the appendix in the cecum. Opening of the appendix in the cecum. So, second one is appendicular orifice. Second one is appendicular orifice. So, appendicular orifice is, as we told you earlier, that is situated about 1 to 2 centimeter below to this ileocecal opening, right? This is about 1 to 2 centimeter, and as this ileocecal opening is on the posterior medial aspect of the cecum, so that would also be on the posterior medial aspect of the cecum. So this orifice, this appendicular orifice, is actually posterior, on the posterior medial aspect of the cecum, right? Let's talk one more thing related to this, and that is the appendix. So the basic thing of the cecum was that the length is 6 centimeter, the width is 7 centimeter. This particular shape of the cecum may vary. It may be conical, it may be quadrate, it may be asymmetrical, it may be aggregated, or this communicates with main 2 3 portions. One superiorly to the ascending colon, posterior medially to the ileum, posterior medially to the inium, and posterior medially to the appendix, right? And this particular portion contains two orifices. One is the ileocecal orifice, and the second one is the appendicular orifice, right? Let's talk about the appendix. Appendix. Okay. So appendix, what is appendix? Appendix is actually a narrow worm-like tubular diverticulum. It's a worm-like structure, and that's why it is known as the vermiform appendix. That's why it is known as the vermiform appendix. So this is a worm-like structure, and that's why it is named as vermiform appendix, right? One thing, what would be the length of this vermiform appendix? What would be the length of this worm-like structure? So the length may vary from 2 to 20 centimeter. So the length may vary. It may be 2 centimeter to up to 20 centimeter, and the diameter of this worm would be 5 mm. So length 2 to 20 centimeter, and the diameter is around 5 mm. What are the basic parts of this appendix? What are the basic parts? This appendix contains three main parts, right? One, where it connects with the cecum, and that is the base. That is the base of the appendix. Second one is the middle tubular portion, and that is the body of the appendix. That is the body of the appendix. And the last terminal part, this part, this is the tip of the, this is the, don't write it tell, this is the tip of the appendix. So appendix mainly have three separate parts. One known as the base, second the tubular portion known as the body, and the final terminal part is known as the tip of the appendix. Correct? Okay. This appendix may have in a lot of positions, may have a lot of extension, lot of variety of extensions, right? So the extension or the situation of this appendix is actually uh, calculated or measured through the watch time. Okay, it may be 11 o'clock position, it may be on the 12 o'clock position. So let's talk about the positions of the appendix, right? Let us talk about the position. What are the main positions of the positions of appendix? So what are the main positions of the appendix? One is 11 o'clock position. One is 11 o'clock position. Sorry. And the 11 o'clock position is also known as the paracolic position. This is also known as the paracolic position. Paracolic means parallel to the colic. Like this. 11 o'clock position would be like this. If this is a watch and this is the center point, so 11 o'clock position is this one, and almost parallel to the colon. That's why this position is known as the paracolic position. And second one is the 12 o'clock position. Second one is the 12 o'clock position. So this is 11 o'clock, this one is 11 o'clock, this one is 12 o'clock. Means just behind the cecum, and it ascends just behind the cecum, and that's why this 12 o'clock position is known as the retrocecal position. This is known as the retrocecal position. Correct. Third one is the 2 o'clock position. Third one is the 2 o'clock position. That would be like this. This is 2 o'clock position. And this 2 o'clock position, this 2 o'clock position is known as the splenic. This one is known as the splenic position of the appendix, right? And next is the 3 o'clock position. Next is 3 o'clock position. And this 3 o'clock position is actually known as the promontoid position. Next one is the 4 o'clock position, and the 4 o'clock position would be like this. That would be like this. This may be, this is 4, and this one is 4 o'clock position. And the 4 o'clock position is normally known as the pelvic position. This is as the pelvic position. And the last one is the 6 o'clock position. That would be the 6 o'clock position. And this 6 o'clock position is known as the mid inguinal position. This 6 o'clock position is known as the mid inguinal position. So these are the positions of the appendix. 11 o'clock, it may be 12 o'clock, it may be 2, 3, 4, or 6 o'clock. So these are the basic position of the appendix, right? This is all about appendix. We have seen the basic structure of cecum and appendix, and the structure of the colon would be almost around the same. There would be some basic differences, and we have earlier talked about the differences between the wall of the small intestine and the large intestine. So directly we will go to the rectum. Okay, next portion is the rectum. And this portion, we will talk about this portion. Okay, so first of all, the length of the rectum. The length of the rectum is around 20 centimeter. Length would be around 20 centimeter, right? And its terminal in this 20 centimeter, this terminal 2 to 3 centimeter portion, this terminal 2 to 3 centimeter portion, this particular portion is known as the anal canal. This one is known as the anal canal. So final, in the length of 20 centimeter, the final 2 to 3 centimeter portion, that is the terminal portion, terminal, and this 2 to 3 centimeter length, this portion is known as the anal canal. This is the anal canal, right? Here the mucosa of anal canal have some longitudinal folds within it, all right, and these folds are known as the anal columns. These are the anal columns. So anal canals having anal columns. And what are these columns? What are these columns? These columns are actually the longitudinal folds of the mucosa of the anal canal, and these are anal canal columns. Now the opening of to the exterior, here is, you can see the opening to the exterior. So the opening of this rectum to the exterior is actually known as the anus. It is known as the anus. Let me clear it from here. Anal canal and anus. And this anus, that is the exterior opening, this anus is actually guarded by two basic sphincter. So anal canal having anal columns, anal canal having anal columns, and anus having two sphincter. One is the internal sphincter and second one is the external sphincter. So these sphincter, one is the internal sphincter, and second one is the external sphincter. This internal sphincter is actually made up of smooth muscle fiber. This is of smooth muscle fibers. That's why the action of this internal muscle would be involuntary. Action of this muscle would be involuntary. So this is a involuntary sphincter. Involuntary sphincter. And the external sphincter is actually made up of the skeletal muscle. This is of skeletal muscle. And that's why the function of this muscle, this sphincter, is voluntary. So this is voluntary sphincter. Okay, let's take a look again that the rectum is the last part of the large intestine. Rectum having a length of around 20 centimeter, and in this 20 centimeter, the last 2 to 3 centimeter terminal portion of last 2 to 3 centimeter is actually known as the anal canal. Right. This anal canal, mucosa of this anal canal contains longitudinal folds, and these folds, longitudinal folds, are actually known as the anal columns. Right. Exterior opening of the anal canal to the exterior, that is known as the anus, and this anus contains basically two sphincter, or this anus is guarded. You can say this anus is actually guarded by two sphincter. One is the internal sphincter and second one is the external sphincter. So the internal sphincter is made up of smooth muscle, that's why it is involuntary, and the external sphincter is actually made up of skeletal muscle, that's why it is voluntary. Right. So this is all about the large intestine. Okay, thank you so much.